Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Bill Levinson, Managing Partner with Levinson and Associates. We have a few special guest speakers that are joining us on today's call. We are delighted to have them on the call with us. The first one is Stephen, who actually created the LEAD program for us. It's been probably about 2.5 years now. And the second guest speaker is Kent, who is a very successful agent of ours all the way from Texas. So he's joining us on the call. He's actually on vacation right now. So he is taking time out of his day and his vacation literally to speak for a few minutes about the LEAD program and how it has helped him tremendously in our industry. So we appreciate him taking time out of his day. We also have Joseph Loughran, our Marketing Vice President, on the call. And as you know, we're going to dive into the exclusive Levinson Mortgage Protection LEAD program. So I just think it's important that everybody on the call takes out a pen and paper, jots down any notes, questions, comments, and then we can revisit after the call. We have some new material that we're going to go over. We're also going to kind of run you through an A to Z of how the program works. We're going to give you some tips and comments all built around the program. And then me and Joe are going to talk about technology that we have put together to help our agents stay organized, follow up by using a CRM tool, having a web presence by using a website and integrating social media such as Facebook. So kind of like the whole back office, if you will, that puts all these missing pieces together for you. So we have some real neat stuff. And, you know, as we're going, you know, we understand that we have some agents on the call that know technology very well. And then we have other agents that might be from a different generation, and maybe it takes a little extra hand-holding. So that is completely fine with us. What I'm suggesting is after the call, we can revisit anything, any of the technology tools that you would like us to go back over. So that would be our pleasure. Okay, so just sit back, relax, and my goal is that everybody walks away with a piece of advice, maybe a new tool, or even better, maybe you're willing to give the LEAD program a try to see how it can change the way that you conduct business. And I think the most important note here before we dive in is we all know as insurance people and sales people in general, you can have the best story in the world, and you could be the best salesperson in the world. But I think the challenge, I think we can all agree on this, is if we have no one to tell our story to or share our story with, then there's not going to be any sales. Okay, so it's a very simple equation here. So the whole point of this program is to get your foot in the door and share your story, okay, and be able to get someone on the phone that's willing to listen to you for a few minutes. Now it's up to you to turn this into a sale. But that's the whole point of this. So it doesn't matter how great we are or how great we think we are. If we have no one to talk to, then it's kind of pointless. You know, you could be a CLU, CHFC in the business for 42 years and not have anyone to speak to and share your story with. So I don't care what experience level you're at, this is a great way to get your foot in the door. We don't make any money on this whatsoever. In fact, it costs us money for you to participate. So we actually offer the program to all of our active agents as a courtesy. And we have to make sure that Levinson does their due diligence before we bring any program to our agents and stamp our name on it. So keep that in the back of your mind as we're moving forward. The program works, and yes, we stand behind it. No, it's not perfect, but if you're willing to put the time and energy in, you will make lots of money. Okay, I know for a fact because we have agents, and one is on the call with us, that has done just that. So moving forward, I'm going to introduce Joseph Loughran. He's going to talk about our upcoming training webinars, and then we're going to dive in. Joe?
Thanks, Bill. As usual, today's call will be recorded and posted to the YouTube channel. You can actually look that up right on our website. You can go to YouTube, type in Levinson, the number 1, or just receive that email this afternoon. You can watch that link on demand, along with about 100 different sales videos that are actually on the Levinson YouTube channel. I just wanted to point out a couple upcoming training sessions for next week. On Tuesday the 25th, very, very important, at 10 a.m. Eastern, we're going over the new NAIC guideline, AG49. That applies to all the cash value index universal life products. Basically, come September 1st, we're going to have new actual legislation as far as what the illustrations can show, what the clients can actually be presented. So if you've run any sort of illustrations and that policy is not enforced by September 1st, this is something you actually need to be aware of. So definitely tune in. It's going to run about half an hour. We'll go over all the guidelines and tell you everything you need to know about AG49. On Wednesday, which is the 26th at 2 p.m. Eastern, we've got a great webinar. It's running for about 35-40 minutes. We're covering some great new agent resources available through the Levinson office. We're going to be talking about the key to writing big cases. We're going to show you some proprietary software that you can use as an agent to present some great concepts to your clients, including client worksheets, seminar material. It's going to run again for about 35-40 minutes. It's going to be co-sponsored by Protective Life. Definitely some great information on how to access those bigger and larger cases. And then on Thursday, which is the 27th at 2 p.m. Eastern, we're covering the top simplified issue term and universal life products in the industry. That's going to run for about 35 minutes. This is a great platform to do telesales. We actually have a voice signature application process for simplified issue products. So definitely tune in if you're interested. Again, all these webinars, you can actually register for these right on the CarrieLevinson.com homepage, or look out for our emails. You'll actually receive those registration links, and you can join just like today's call. Also, we just launched and actually announced the 2016 Levinson Expo is April 2016. It's actually April 8th. This will be our 9th year. The whole focus of the Levinson Expo is actually a day full of sales ideas, concepts. We actually bring in top underwriters, top sales directors at various home offices to actually talk about what you can use in the field to generate more business, find more prospects, and actually make yourself more profitable as an agent. So again, this is Friday, April 8th. It starts at 9 a.m., goes to about 5 p.m. We give out cash prizes throughout the day. We have sponsored lunch. We actually have the day before, if you're an agent that's not local to South Florida, we put together this qualification level at the bottom of the screen. Of course, the Expo is free for all agents to attend, but if you happen to be outside of South Florida, you'd like to come down, especially around April. It's usually pretty cold across most of the country. For $15,000 of paid premium, you actually get one free night at the Beachfront Resort, which you can see from the picture is absolutely beautiful. For $40,000 of paid premium, you'll actually get round-trip airfare and that same one free night at that Beachfront Resort. And then for $50,000 of paid premium, you'll get round-trip airfare and 2 free nights. The best part about this entire expo is not only the sales ideas and concepts that you'll gain and learn by joining us for that one day, but it's also, as far as the qualification periods go, it's available for all different types of products. So whether you're writing just term life or universal life or long-term care, maybe annuity business, even DI, CI, it doesn't matter what blend of products you write, they all actually count towards that Levinson Expo and towards those qualification levels. So a great day you definitely do not want to miss. You can register right in our homepage, and actually if you receive the email this afternoon, there'll be a link in that email where you can register as well. And I'm going to hand it over to Bill to actually talk about our new University Plus Youth Life product.
Thank you, Joe. So we've been working on a few new products and a new streamlined platform for all of our agents. In my opinion, these are game-changing products. And we're obviously very, very excited about this. You're going to hear about these three. It's actually 2 products and 1 platform. You're going to hear about everything in the upcoming Broker World magazine and Insurance Newsnet. So they're going to be real popular. There's different articles that are being written as we speak. The first one, very simply, this is the ultimate door opener product. It's called the University Plus Youth Life product. And what's so neat about this, okay, first of all, the premiums start at just $2 per month. Okay, so very, very inexpensive. That's a guaranteed whole life product with a 1 free-year college scholarship. And it's so easy to sign up for clients. And the way it works, you being the agent, you say, hey, Bill, I want to get appointed. We give you a custom link. Okay, so you take that link, you put it on your Facebook page, put it on your website, email blast it out, and as soon as your client or prospect clicks on the link, they run a quote, and then they say, wow, for $4 a month, I can get a $10,000 whole life and 1 free-year scholarship for little Johnny, and there's an Apply Now button that they click, okay? An application pops up online. There's a few health questions. It's basically guaranteed issue, instant approval, and then the client prints their policy in real time, all while you, the agent, did nothing, okay? So it is the most streamlined and easy way to buy a life insurance product today, period. There is nothing else like this. And you talk about value and bang for the buck. I mean, look at the bottom there. For just $10 a month, you can get actually less than that, a $25,000 whole life with a 1 free-year scholarship, and that's any age up to 26. Okay, so you talk about a door opener. I don't know a parent or grandparent that's going to say no to $3 a month for little Susie or little Johnny. So this is an awesome door opener product. Nobody else has it. It's only available through Levinson. Okay, moving forward here, another new addition that we have been working on. As you know, we have our scholarship program that's exclusively available through us. We now have 6 different carriers, over 50 products to choose from. So a nice variation there, and this really helps you stand apart from your competition. And it's very simple. I mean, if you look at it as you being an insurance agent and I'm an insurance agent, we're both going after Lisa, the prospect, okay? We're both pitching the same product, same premium, both A-rated companies. Everything's identical. But I'm throwing in a 1 free-year scholarship for little Jenny, who's 3 years old. I'm going to get the sale every single time, even if the premium's the same, even if they like you better than me. Why? Because of the value-added proposition. So we all know the scholarship program works. It separates you from everyone else. And we had a little bit of a challenge in the past. We had agents calling saying, wow, I forgot to sign up Michael with the program for the policy I sold 6 months ago. And it was a little bit cumbersome. So now what we did is, you being the agent, as soon as you sell a product that qualifies for the scholarship program, you just send the client an email and they fill and enroll themselves into the program. It takes literally seconds. So it's very simple now. Joe's going to walk you through it, and then we're going to include this brochure in the email that everybody will get today. Joe?
Yeah, thanks, Bill. So once you become an active scholarship agent, you actually receive your very own agent ID. That's what the client's going to be using to self-register. So we've even had a lot of agents, even just when we rolled this out earlier this week, basically emailing clients saying, hey, great news. We had a conversation about the scholarship platform. You now are eligible for free reward points. Just like Bill mentioned, you can send that client that link. They enter in your agent ID, and they complete everything as far as self-registration. The best part about this is once they do that, you can actually log into the back office site as an agent and view all their information. And then you can start to market other products that qualify with that scholarship platform as well, even Index UL, disability income, critical illness. The list goes on and on. There's over about 25, 26 different products that you can market with that scholarship platform as well. So again, we will email out that guide. Very, very simple to follow, and especially for the consumer, very easy to follow.
Okay, another brand new addition to Levinson. I suggest everybody getting appointed literally by the weekend, because next week this product is rolling out officially. So it's a chance that you can get a head start. Very simple, guaranteed issue life insurance all the way to age 80 to $40,000, which is rare. This is the least expensive premium out of all the guaranteed issue products available right now. The company is Great Western, And I'm telling you, the premiums are the least expensive that we have seen here at Levinson, and we have access to every guaranteed issue product. What's so neat about this is there's 3 health questions, and if your client answers no to all 3 health questions, they get 20% added on to their death benefit for the same premium. Okay, so it's basically 2 products under one umbrella. So if your client can answer no to all 3 health questions, they get an additional 20% of death benefit added on. So let's say it's $40,000, now they have $48,000. And as long as they answer no, if they answer yes, it goes straight to guaranteed issue and gets approved within 48 hours, 6-month advance available. This is the product to have for any impaired risk type clients. And final expense, no-brainer. So let us know. In fact, we will include licensing in today's email with a little brochure so you can read up on our brand new product. Okay, so moving forward here, Mortgage Lead Program. Okay, that's what we've all been waiting for. The program works. I love this testimonial at the bottom that came in May. The Mortgage Lead Program is bringing me new business that more than covers the expense and opening up opportunities beyond the typical term insurance sale. Thanks for the good quality leads, Andrew from Ohio, who's also on today's call. So thank you, Andrew, for sharing. So the program works. I think it's up to us, Steve and Kent, to kind of give you tips and give you a 100-foot overview about the program and share with you what works, what doesn't. But the program does work if you're willing to put the time in. I'll go over these bullets briefly, and then we're going to introduce Stephen. They are 100% exclusive to each agent. That means they are not shared. Minimum order of leads is 12. Okay, they're $18 a piece. We do give 2 to 4 free leads per order to make up for, let's say there's someone that maybe isn't healthy, or maybe they only have 1 person down instead of a couple. Whatever the case is, we give you 2 to 4 free leads per order. There's no minimum order, okay? So in other words, once you're in, we don't keep charging your credit card every single week. It's pay as you go. Every Monday, we send the email out. You let us know if you're in for that week or out. Very easy. You don't have to worry about disputing any credit card charges. The orders are placed on Monday before the end of the business day. You will receive them before the following Tuesday, so within 24 hours, typically faster. The only thing we ask is any lead business that is generated from these leads has to be sent back through us at Levinson and Associates. And the reason why, very simply, this program costs us money for our agents to participate. So if any business is written, please give us the opportunity to process that business for you. Especially with cash for contracting incentives, you'll make not only the same commission, but most likely higher commission, plus at least $100 cash after your first application places. So there's no reason to not put the business back through us. The lead reimbursement program, this is awesome. Okay, so basically you write the lead. Not only do you get paid, of course, full commission annualized, but we also pay for every single lead that's written. We had an agent last week that wrote literally 8 of the 12 leads. In fact, we invited him to be on today's call, but he couldn't make it due to a closing, so we're going to have him join us on the next call. But yeah, he literally wrote 8 of the 12, so he made a great commission, and he gets paid for every lead that he wrote. So it really is a no-brainer and a win-win situation for everybody. So without further ado, we're going to introduce Stephen, who actually created the lead program, and he's going to give you his take on the ins and outs with our exclusive mortgage lead program. Steve?
Thank you, Bill. And I'd like to thank everybody for listening in today. I especially want to thank Kent for taking away time from his busy schedule. I won't tell you where he is today for his busy schedule, but he'll share some of his personal experiences with all of us. As Bill mentioned a moment ago, he really said it as well as I could. as far as all the resources that are available that come through the Levinson group. You know, I don't know of an IMO that does more for their agents than Bill and Carrie and the rest of the staff. I don't have to go into details. Anybody that's been affiliated with them knows full well what they're capable of doing for their agents. And as Bill said a moment ago, also, you know, you can have all these products and all this support behind you, but really, what good is it if you don't have prospects or enough prospects to share them with? You know, we agents in the insurance business basically are problem solvers. That's what we do. That's our business. And our job is to provide ways to solve the needs of our prospects and to make them into clients. And that's exactly what this mortgage lead program does, as Bill said also. You know, it opens up a door. It opens up a door that you wouldn't have ordinarily had available to you. And now you've got your foot in the door. And now you have control of the conversation. You know, these are people that are qualified prospects. And that's the name of the game. You know, there's a lot of things out there, and, you know, I've been doing this for a good many years. And I want to share with you folks one thing. I myself have been an end user. I myself have been an agent that have ordered leads. And I did it religiously. I did it for a long period of time. And I want to tell you that it paid off for me personally. It was something I stuck with over time. I had a huge backlog of people to call back, to follow up with, and so forth. And I consistently found myself earning well into six figures every year. And that was primarily because of a lead program like this. Now, there were some shortcomings, and Bill mentioned, you know, no program is perfect. Well, I've made this better. I've made it better because, number one, we take a look at each and every lead that goes to an agent before we send it out. And, you know, I know what a good lead looks like. I know what a lead in my hand that had some real value would look like. And that's the sort of lead that we send out to the agents of the Levinson group that order. And what I mean by that is that we get leads that don't have exactly what we want due to ages, due to the amount of the mortgage, and things like that. And we probably discard anywhere from 30 to 40% of the total amount of leads that are available from the people that have ordered for that week's run. And the reason we discard them is they don't meet the criteria. They don't have the value we believe should be distributed to any particular agent. And that's the promise I make to all of you, is that I'm going to make sure that each and every lead that goes out is of quality, okay? Now, you know, as far as the cost of these things, and I know that Bill quickly went over it, regardless if you're ordering 12 or 15 or 20 leads, you're getting extra leads. I can tell you for a fact, I don't know of any setup of a lead program that offers this kind of thing. And I do it because, number one, as Bill mentioned, you know, there's times that a number might not be a working number. Even though these leads are fresh, these leads are generated within the past 1 to 2 weeks. Sometimes a phone number doesn't work. Sometimes you just can't possibly reach people. And sometimes maybe there's an insurability situation going on. So it covers some of the drop off of an order, you know, and it's again something that I believe is a nice thing to do for agents, because the bottom line is Bill and Joe and myself and Carrie all want anybody that orders leads to be successful, you know. And I can tell you for a fact that people that have participated in this program and have done it on a regular basis. And what I mean that is most every week they're ordering leads. I get phone calls from Carrie, or I'll get a phone call from Bill, and they'll congratulate me on putting this person in a position where they're sending in business in a way that they've never done before, as far as premium amounts. And again, it's because they're generating this business from these kinds of leads. It takes a certain amount of talent. It takes a certain amount of dedication to do this, and I think Kent will share his experiences and his insight into what's made him successful with these leads. But, I will say, and this is very, very important, that due to the mortgage market in most of the country, and when I say most of the country, I mean in areas that are not extremely dense populated areas, that when you order leads, you have to be very aware of the fact that many, if not most of the leads are going to be outside your geographical area. That means not calling people for appointments. So you have to be able to and be capable of doing business entirely by phone, using e-apps and drop tickets and that sort of thing. Also, I want to mention, before you get on the phone, after you've ordered the leads and you've received the leads and you're ready to start your phone calls, open up your quote engine, be it from Levinson or WinFlex or whatever it may be. Have that open to you, and of course you're calling from a good, quiet place, so you won't be interrupted, and then you're ready to call. And we've got a sample lead here that's been open for a while, so you've probably all had a chance to glance at it if you've never seen one. And basically this is the layout of what a lead looks like. And you'll see that on the top left it shows you the county and the state that you're ordering from. So you have an idea that if it happens to be in your backyard, or if it's one that's definitely going to be handled strictly by phone, through e-app and drop tickets. On the top right, you see a mortgage amount, and of course then you see the person's name, whose mortgage it's under, and the address. And then you have a profile of that person, along with if there's a co-borrower. And I will mention that a good many of these leads only show the borrower and do not show a co-borrower, even though there may be a spouse or a significant other of some type that is involved with the mortgage, that does live in the household. And that's one of the first questions you ask, of course, if you see only one borrower. You'll see the date of births there, you see a male, female, you'll see heights and weights, and you'll see if they're smokers or not. So you have an idea going in before you call, and I always say, at this time, feel comfortable with the lead before you just, dial the number. Look at it, get a feel for the ages, and if one may be overweight or one may be a smoker, that kind of stuff. And then, of course, there's generally speaking the contact name, which is 90% of the time the borrower himself or herself, and then at least one, if not two, good operating phone numbers to call them at. Okay, and then the fun begins. You call them, and I mean, as I said earlier, you have control of the conversation. I think Kent will give you some insight into how he handles himself on any particular phone call. But the idea basically is this. There's a script that's in the Levinson library on the website. I've designed it. It's very simple. It's very effective, and it works. But most importantly is there's open-end questions. There's open-end mentions of things that enables the recipient, the people that have sent these in, to expand on, explain for themselves. And as they're talking and as you're listening and not talking, you're creating and cultivating ideas in your mind as to what you may be able to throw back as some possible solutions or areas that you may be able to help them with. make a long story short, this is not, this lead program is not simply to sell term life products. This program opens the door, and opens the door as wide as you want to open it, as wide as you have the capability and talent to open it, and enables you to write premiums from a case that looks on paper to be very simple, and find yourself with being able to write a premium based on the needs that are far, far reaching just the term amount of what their mortgage amount is. So, I mean, these are the kinds of things that does take some experience, and, it's like anything else, a little bit of trial and error when you're on the phone and you see what works for you personally, what you feel comfortable with personally, and what doesn't. And that's fine. That's why I say the telephone script is simple enough where it really is a very vanilla kind of thing, but I've scaled it down to a point where you don't have to do a lot of thinking as you're talking. And it gives you the time to really allow the people that you're calling to respond and answer your things. And when I said about qualified leads, the important thing about these leads, they're not internet leads. They're not something that just been thrown together over time and are not very fresh. These are leads that people themselves have taken the time to fill out the questionnaire that came to them and have sent it back. It didn't take them a lot of time, but it took them time. And we know human nature. If you're not at all interested, you're not going to bother with it. You're going to throw it with the eggshells and open your next piece of mail. But this is saved by a lot of people. Some people, for some reason, they may send this off not immediately, but a while later, because it's still hanging around. But these profiles that we look at here, this information is provided by the people themselves. This is not through the internet or anything like that. So these are really, really good operating leads. Again, part of the script will get into qualifying the health of these recipients, these prospects. Very important, because again, that'll gear you to where you need to go as far as the kind of product you may be looking at for them. Okay, basically that's the long and short of it. There's one other slide that we have, and Joe showed it to us, and it's really the same thing. It's just more of a non-medical simplified type of thing, and it's based more on the ages and the mortgage amount. Smaller mortgage amount, younger age, where it's a quicker issue. Again, unless you cultivate this into something quite a bit more, and then it morphs into hopefully a bigger sale for you. But it's the same concept. Okay, and then we have an email, Joe. Then we have an email. This is a follow-up. This is regardless if you've made the after you've made the initial phone call and the sale, or just putting in front of them the quotes that you discussed on the telephone as a follow-up. And this, of course, is an excellent thing and a necessary thing to do, because you're putting your name in front of them along with your contact numbers, and you're also making them aware that you're going to be in touch with them in the near future. And again, I think Kent will walk you down through some of his timetables as far as follow-up, because it's very important on this kind of process, because most of your business, and I'd say from my experience, at least 3/4 or more of the business that you write will be after the initial phone call. So follow-up is very important, because you don't want another agent sliding in there, okay, and grabbing the business from you. So you're building a rapport and a relationship with these people. Keep that flow going until you feel there's nowhere to go, and you put it aside. This is a program, if you continue to participate with, you'll never have a shortage of prospects to call or follow up with. And that's the wonderful thing about it. I want to again thank Bill for the time, and again thank all of you for listening in, and I'll turn this back over to you folks. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Great job. So one statistic that I'm going to add with what Steve said about follow-up, and just keep in mind, this is a LIMRA statistic, is all sales, okay, are made on the 5th through the 12th attempt. Okay, so what that means is the first 4 times of you attempting to make the sale typically, okay, are not going to follow through with a sale. So number 5 through 12 is when the sale actually gets conducted. And that's a LIMRA statistic. So very important. You talk about follow-up and CRM. Keep your name out there, and everything kind of goes in line with what Steve was just talking about. Okay, so moving forward, Kent, who is joining us today on vacation, so we really appreciate him, and he really wanted to take a few minutes to share some insights with our agent and how the program has worked for him. Kent?
Absolutely. Thank you, Bill, Joe, and Steve. I hope everyone can hear me. I'm on a cell phone, so hopefully it will transmit well and you guys can hear everything. I'm going to talk fast, and I'm going to be fairly brief, so I would encourage everybody to write notes if you can. I'll start off by making a comment about the rates. There's a recent announcement by the government that they're getting ready to raise the rates. So I say that because they're going to go up, and that's good because that means that the housing market is always changing, but this means that more people will be purchasing or refinancing their home, those that have been procrastinating. So that just means there's more leads for us. And so that's just a point I'd like to make, and especially the fourth quarter. It seems to always be the most productive quarter of every year that I've been in this business over the last 12 to 15 years. I'd like to start with saying that the leads are the number one challenge in our world of selling. As we all know, that's how, and I'm reiterating some things that have been said, but that's an important point of where we get our leads. This program is a tool that may be used to build your book. I would encourage everyone to have 3 primary tools for getting leads, and I would use this as one of those tools. So this is one way I generate leads, and it's very fruitful, and I've been very successful at it, but by all means, this is not my sole source of how I build my business. And saying that, this is your business, so you must own it, and you must treat it like your business. So I would encourage everybody to own this portion of your business, and that means to do some of the things I'll talk about in a moment. The second thing I want to mention is Mortgage Lead program is really a door opener or an icebreaker. So I use an acronym called FORM, FORM, and all that stands for is Family, Occupation, Recreation, and Message. So again, the icebreaker is to discuss the mortgage protection interest that was evidenced by the completed questionnaire that was returned to that particular person from a refinance, a recent refinance, or a purchase of a home. But after I confirmed the date of birth, the height, the weight, the mortgage balance, and some of the things that are on that information that we receive, I just roll right into a conversation of the FORM acronym I gave you and talk about the family, their occupation, the recreation, what do you do? How do you have fun? And then the message, of course, is why are you buying insurance? It seems like a simple question, but it really, truly is the question that you want to ask is, I know that you were talking about protecting your mortgage in the event of a death, but why are you really, buying insurance? Because the mortgage could be paid off, but what then? How's your family, how's your wife and your children or your husband going to survive after you pay off the home? The follow-up, again, I'm reiterating the follow-up because it's really the most important piece of the program. And just want to make another comment and ask, did you guys know that oftentimes when I'm talking to a person, those decisions are based on the day that someone is having? I know that all of you can relate to that because it's true. Timing is everything in this sales market, and no doesn't mean no. It just means not now. So it's very critical to understand how important the follow-up is. And as Bill was stating, the follow-up probably on an average of about 10 calls is how the sales are typically made. And every now and then you'll get lucky and you'll make that sale on that first call. But I would highly recommend that you stick to taking notes, the date, the time you called, get a flavor for your particular prospect, because each prospect has a different personality. Some get irritated if you call in 3 days. Some want you to call in 30. I would highly recommend you call in 15. When they say something, you generally want to split it in half, because what happens is you're undersold by another agent, as we heard earlier. Most agents make the initial call, but never make a second or third call. Just making a comment again about, you make a call and they say, well, I want to get back with you. Well, a lot of times you just won't follow up because you don't think that's a good lead. Well, time and time again, it's been proven to me very differently that it just was about me catching them on the right day. So be the first agent to call is the first thing I'll say. Be consistent. Number 2, be persistent. Number 3, and be decisive. I've always brought this up on the calls because I think those are 4 steps to being a great agent. Be the first agent to call, be consistent, be persistent, and be decisive. In other words, you need to know when not to waste time with certain people, because they will suck the energy right out of you, and you need to move on to the next deal. Keep it simple. For those of you that are that like technology, like myself, that's a great thing, but I would highly recommend that you keep it simple. I've gone back to simplicity. I have a 3-ring binder. I stick the mortgage leads in the binder. I date them on the top. I take notes on the back of each one of the sheets, and I just flip through them, and I know what and when I should call my clients next. You can get into doing a lot of things that organize, but I think our world has become so organized with technology that we sometimes are disorganized because we're trying to do so much. So I would just recommend that you keep it simple. Finally, treat this like a business. When you get frustrated, make a call. When you get a no, make a call. When you don't have any money, make a call. And when you have a lot of money, make a call. So the bottom line is we have to make phone calls to make money in this business. And no matter what your particular circumstance, it's very critical that you just get on that phone. That phone can become very heavy. It becomes very heavy to all the no's that we give, but every time you get a no, it's closer to the yes. So good luck to everyone, and I would encourage you not to procrastinate. I would encourage you to get into this system and make it one of your tools to become successful. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you. Great job, Kent. And thanks really for taking time out of your day, because we all appreciate it. We know that you're busy today on vacation, so thanks from the heart. So everybody on today's call will receive an email with all the brochures of the products and new platforms that we were going over. Plus, you'll get the sample lead scripts. We have a FAQ section that was built just for the mortgage lead program, which will also be attached to that email. This should answer most of your questions, but once again, we are here for you. So pick up the phone, give us a call. Joe is going to dive into some of the tools that we've built around the lead program to help you stay organized and follow up. Don't forget that number 5 to 12 for when prospects actually pull the trigger and agree to a sale. So, Joe, do you want to take it from here?
Yeah, thanks, Bill. Real quick, I'll just mention the Me Again platform, which is actually a free tool that we offer to all appointed agents. We'll actually send out the link to download it. We'll even include a demo. This is just a great tool to make sure that you never miss a follow-up again. You know, we've all been sharing those numbers. 48% of salespeople never follow up. Just 2% of sales are made in the first call. So just to kind of echo what was said earlier, it's very, very important to set up those follow-ups. I know it can be very difficult with everything going on. This mobile app actually links up with any PC or laptop, and it will make sure that you never miss those follow-ups. It actually has about 100 different pre-designed sales templates that you can use to keep your name in front of that client. So we want to always keep our name in front of the client. That's half the battle. And then connecting with them, we can actually get to that appointment or that phone call where we can make the sale. So a great tool to have in your toolbox to actually make sure you're reaching out and getting a hold of all those people. Of course, this is a leads webinar, so I do want to mention we have some other lead programs, specifically some direct mail pieces. The first one you're looking at is actually a co-op program through Transamerica. It's a final expense lead program. The cost is pretty unique. It's $330 per thousand, which is about normally, these type of lead programs probably cost around, $450 to $600. So you are getting a co-op price by working with our agency. These are specifically for the final expense marketplace. Basically, you're picking the zip codes, the demographics. They're actually paying for the printing, the postage, and you get all those actual mailers returned back to you so that you can reach out, make those phone calls, and actually even set up appointments. So the average rate of return for the final expense program is about 1.7 to 2%, and we have agents using it all across the country. If you're interested, let us know. Another great final expense mail program is through a company called Legacy Safeguard. This is perfect for the final expense marketplace. And basically what you're doing is you're pairing a final expense product, a whole life product, with the Legacy Safeguard program. So this kit actually comes with a DVD, a CD, some planning material for your client, and you're not only selling the final expense product, but you're selling this as a whole package. You're giving them access to an estate planning support team. You're giving them to an estate planning attorney. You're also giving them access to all these different tools, actually even negotiating the price of the funeral, so that when it comes time to actually bury someone, the family and the beneficiary are going to have that support system in place to help them through that difficult time. So a great way to get in front of more people and even use that mailer with that Legacy Safeguard platform. We also have a co-op annuity program. Josh Hoffman inside of our office heads up the Levinson annuity department. He can actually help you with this annuity direct mail piece, but the average is about 2.5%, especially for the annuity products. You're going to see a great return on that platform as well. So just a couple of different lead programs we also offer on a co-op basis. And of course, all this information will be included in the email you receive this afternoon.
Thank you, Joe. Okay, so this is our last slide here, and then we're going to close the call. We know we're running a little bit behind. We're always pushing technology, and of course, we don't want you to change the way that you've done things for the last, 10, 20, 30 years, but you do need some of these programs running on the background on autopilot, especially having a website and an online presence. Look at that blue box on the right side there. This is huge, okay? These are LIMRA statistics. Internet World Stats in 2000 was 361 million users. 15 years later, okay, look at the last section in the blue box. 4.2 billion users, okay? You can see the difference, and that number is only getting bigger and growing. So it's important for all of us to have an online presence, at the very minimum, a website, a Facebook page, and you need to know how to use these e-applications, especially when selling over the phone. And if you're talking to one of these prospects from the mortgage program, okay, you're going to need to run a quote. If they want to sign up, you can literally fill out an application with them online in less than 5 minutes. You're in and out and on to the next sale. So you just need to know the basics. We're here to help you with that. All of those carriers that you're looking at all have the drop ticket e-application. It makes things very simple. Like I said, you can sign up a client on the phone in minutes. It makes things very, very simple, and it lets you focus on some of the bigger cases that you're used to getting paid big dollars on. So again, we're here to help you. Pick up the phone, call us. I'm going to end with this. Thank you, really, number one, to all of our agents for taking the time. Thank you to Kent, Steve, Joe, for being on today's training and sharing some of this insight with our agents. And always keep in the back of your mind, I end almost every webinar with this, the industry is always about changing, okay? And that's what we all need to do as agents, GAs, insurance carriers. We all need to do this, okay, to make changes to keep moving forward, okay? And what they say is things are moving so fast now with technology that it's almost like you have to change a flat tire on a car while the car is still moving forward, okay? So we're here to help you look ahead of the next corner. With that said, have a wonderful rest of the week, a great weekend, and good selling. Take care.